All right, boys and girl, you've been asking for it. I've been reading the comments. Where's building your build? Where's building your build? As if there aren't enough YouTube tutorials for it. Here's building your build. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cisco, and today we are entering the hard zone. Not the soft, easy zone, no. We finally get into the internals. And I'm gonna have to show you how to remove your gearbox. But first, remember, don't void your warranty. Any of the tips, tricks, and installation instructions that we provide will void your warranty, okay? If you bought it within X amount of days, says your manufacturer warranty, don't do it! Because I don't want to have to hear you come in and complain and cry. I deal with enough crying, mainly from me, alone at night, thinking about your complaints. All right, time to get into the gearbox. But first, how many times do I have to tell you to subscribe? Go ahead, take your cruiser, put it right here on my finger, and bring it down right wherever the hell it is, and subscribe. Do you know what the YouTube CEO thinks about Airsoft? She doesn't like it. So help us beat the algorithm and help support us by going to Airsoft GI. Especially since we have Mayo Gang patches now. I have to take that off, so I want it perfectly aligned. Look at that, bam, stay bland. This and other limited edition patches are available right now. They're limited edition, meaning they're limited quantities. So pick yours up at Airsoft GI and help support the channel by going to Airsoft GI. Rep your Mayo Gang patch. Actually, post it on Instagram. I want to see it. Hashtag Mayo Gang. Tools you will need to take apart your gun. All of them. I mean all of them. Mallet, pliers, Allen key screw set, long Phillips driver. If you don't have tools, go to Harbor Freight or steal some from your friend. But give them back when you're done, because stealing's bad. Don't forget the AR wrench too. Important. All right, guys. You're questioning, how did we get here? Well, I removed the upper receiver and the buffer tube. And if you don't know how to do this, watch the rest of the videos of this series where I show you how to do this. It's very easy. Now, we're going to take apart the gearbox from the lower receiver, and it's actually quite simple. So, first thing we're going to do is remove the magazine catch. That will need a Phillips flathead, what am I, an idiot? A Phillips head screwdriver. This could be an Allen screw, so that's why you want to have that handy. And if the lever gets stuck in there, all you have to do is push it and then remove the tension, and then the spring will come out as well. So then this set we can set aside for the time being. I'll put that all right here. And then from here, we're going to want to remove the pistol grip. Now, same thing. This one in particular has Phillips screws, but you can use, or it might require, a hex driver. So you're just gonna want to unscrew this. Now you're gonna want to put a little bit of tension with your thumb on the bottom plate, because it can fly off. Not really fly off, but there is spring tension from the motor, and it can knock out the screw and cause it to shoot across the room, and you might lose it. So that's a big no-no. So you're gonna want to keep that together and then set that aside. From here, you're going to see the motor, which you will just need to unplug both sides. Fairly easy. Right there. And then you're going to want to slide the motor out. And if you can't slide it out, this is where some tools will help. So I'm going to use the pliers really quick to help me lift it out right there. Perfect. We're going to set that aside. And then you're going to need to remove the pistol grip. Now, I'm not sure if you could see on the inside of here. Actually, I have a flashlight. So in there are going to be, that is the spring for the motor. You don't lose that. That's very important, because that will allow you to adjust the motor height in the grip. Okay, now in the pistol grip, you will see the screws that you need to remove. This is where the long Phillips screwdriver will come in handy. Once you remove all of them, the pistol grip should slide right out. Be careful when taking it out, because the wires can get damaged while removing it. If you're too rough, you can strip the outer coating of the wire. And then you're gonna wanna make sure you get all the screws. So this one has 4. Oop. 4 total. Make sure you have all the screws and keep them separated, because these screws can fall into the gearbox, which isn't really a bad thing if you're taking it apart, but if you're trying to reassemble it, it can be a pain in the ass. So from here, we need to remove the front body pin and the rear body pin. Now with here, you're going to want to use a small punch. Let's see if this one is small enough. No. Again, guys, I don't have a small enough punch, so I'm gonna need to use my Allen driver. Don't do this at home. So this is actually quite tricky because you want to punch the pin in the correct direction. From what I have personally seen, it's going to be installed opposite of how the rear body pin is installed. This front body pin actually has rivets on one side that help lock it in place. So, like I said, it's going to be opposite. So you're going to want to punch it from the right side of the gun. And if I was right, I was wrong, you could cause damage to the gun if you force it all the way through. So this one, on the apex, they put it both on the right side. So the main thing is you don't want to send this pin all the way through the gearbox, because it can cause metal shavings to go inside the gearbox. But because we're going to be taking this apart, I'm going to verify that we have no shavings at the end of this. Now, to remove the back screw, again, just another punch right here. You can also use like a plastic pen or something. This pin is typically more durable. And then I do need a little bit of assistance, so I'm going to be using my flashlight just to pop it out. But depending on your gun, it might slide out much easier. So you want to be careful with this one as well. It does have rivets, but of course there's the flat side that will hold it in place, preventing it from going all the way through. But it might have a detent on the rear pin, so you might not be able to push it all the way through. So from here, all you have to do is slide it out. Typically you want to put the selector in semi, and then this will allow you to slide it out. Now, that happened really quickly, but it's going to rub against the top of the upper receiver, or the lower receiver right here, where the buffer tube would go. So you're just going to want to lift it and push this way. So just like that, and it slides on out. Be careful with the wiring again. It can get damaged while you're pulling it out. There are sharp corners on the inside of the receiver. And then from here, you are ready to take apart the gearbox. All right, now that you have the gearbox apart, you can see that there are these screws in the corners of the gearbox that you need to unscrew. Now, you want to make sure that the spring guide is secured in place. So you want to use a screwdriver to hold it in place as you're taking apart the shell, so your spring guide doesn't fly across the room. However, you want to make sure that you have a quick change spring guide. If you do, this makes life so much easier. You can use the Allen key. I'm going to be using my thumb to just press it in and twist it. This will take out the spring guide and the spring. This relieves all of the tension from the gearbox so you can take it apart with ease. And from here, just unscrew it. If you can see, I'm unscrewing it. My hands are blocking it. There you go. Just like that. Sorry, I'm actually very meticulous about how I want to position my screws. But this is good, it keeps you organized. Make sure like if you have any trouble, make sure you just put the screws in a line where you will remember which one went first and go in order. So in this case, I'm going from back to front of the gearbox, and I'm lining it from top to bottom. Then just unscrew it all. Now some of you may be wondering, is it worth it to use a power drill? Probably not. You probably don't know how to use a power drill correctly. And you might strip your gears. You might zuck the gearbox. So let's be careful, guys. Just do it the old-fashioned manual way. Take your time, be slow with this, because it's delicate. You want to be gentle with this, so then you can go hard on the field later. All right, from here, it is good to have a small flathead screwdriver to help pry the gearbox open. I typically want to go from a corner. This one actually is very easy. It's coming apart quite quickly, or without too much effort. So just go ahead and lift. I take that back. It's going to be a pain in the butt. So slowly lift all the corners of the gearbox. Then from here, you can push down on the cylinder. See how the gear is actually getting stuck there? You can see it's removed from there. I'm just going to punch that out right there, and then it slides out. All right, guys, so I want to show you a little bit of the anatomy on how a gearbox actually works. So you have the motor right here that's going to be inserted on this end. It's going to be powered by the battery. Once you pull the trigger, as you can see, it goes to the trigger assembly here. It pushes the trigger trolley forward, making the connection for the battery to actually cycle the gun. So once you do this, the motor is going to turn the gears right here. So we have the sector, spur, bevel gear, and anti-reversal latch. It's going to spin the gear set all the way back. As you can see, the piston is moving forward or backward right here. And then right at the very end, you'll see the piston come off of the gear set, or vice versa. Now, this is where the spring will force the piston back forward. When this happens, as the gears are spinning, the gear set will actually activate or move the tappet plate. The tappet plate is what causes the nozzle to move back and forth to actually load BBs into the gun. So once this is removed, or the section of the gear set is removed, the spring will pull it forward to push another BB in. From there, firing the BB. And this all happens simultaneously. So I'll do that right there. So as this is getting pulled back, this is dangerous. Hold on. Stand by. Right there. So as this is getting pulled back, right there, as you'd see, this would have already made contact and would be already pressing forward in the gearbox. So once it gets released, slams forward, firing the BB out of the barrel. Very simple. Now, from here, there are going to be a few things that you're going to want to watch out for. Right here, you see the tappet plate is touching the sector gear. It's lifted off of the clip. So you're just going to want to use that flathead and lift up the tappet plate spring, and then you can take that whole section apart. And then from here, we're going to be modifying the piston for angle of engagement. But I suck at this, so I'm going to have our head tech Taylor do it.
So, what is AOE, or AOE correction? AOE stands for angle of engagement, and you want to correct that by spacing the piston backwards. So on stock guns, the sector will pick up the piston at a 1 o'clock angle. Over time, this can cause the pickup tooth on the piston to shear off, because instead of going straight back, that 1 o'clock angle is causing the pickup tooth to go up and back. On an AOE corrected gun, the goal is to push the piston a little bit back, as well as making clearance on the piston rack, so the pickup angle is at 12 o'clock. What this does is it makes sure that your piston is being pushed straight back, as opposed to being pushed up and back. Correcting the angle of engagement on your gun puts less stress on your piston over time and keeps it running more efficiently. Just cutting the sections off of your piston without correcting the actual angle does nothing to prevent that. To fully correct the angle of engagement on your gun, you're going to want to use something called a sorbo pad, which is essentially a small pad made of rubber or similar material. What this does is it pushes your piston back to fully engage the sector gear at the proper angle. It also absorbs some of the impact when the piston goes forward. You can buy pre-cut ones online for your gun, which I recommend you guys do if you're watching this video. But me personally, I like to make my own because I go through too many of them a year to be cost effective. Keep in mind the ones I'm showing here are blanks. They are not finished yet. You still need the hole in the center for air to go through, or however offset your nozzle is up and down, which is why I recommend just buying pre-cut sorbo pads. First, let's go ahead and figure out what thickness pad we need. To do that, remove the tappet plate and air nozzle. Push in the piston to pop out the cylinder head. Pull the piston out of the cylinder head. Reinstall the cylinder head. Reinstall the piston so you can see where it would sit. So now you rotate the gears till it goes into a 12 o'clock position. That's the thickness of pad we need. And now we're going to grind away the second to last tooth and part of the third tooth to make clearance for the sector gear. Now, to preserve the body of the piston, we're going to extract the rack before we grind it. I like to do it at the side of a table, gives more clearance, but to do this you need a hammer, ply head or a chisel, maybe some pliers to help you out. So now we're going to start by grinding away this tooth as well as a little bit of this tooth. So we ground away the second to last tooth as well as part of the third to last tooth to make clearance for the sector gear. You don't need a lot because as you push down the piston, it'll push the glue with it. Alright, so we're back from grinding the piston rack and gluing it to the piston body. You'll notice we also installed a CNC production cylinder head. To change them out, you just unscrew it, put on a new one, and screw it back in. Make sure you secure the screw with some Loctite. Don't use super glue because super glue is brittle and it will crack over time. This does see impact, so you can expect it to crack, which is why you use Loctite. Loctite's a little softer and a little bit more forgiving. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clear off any grease off the pad of the cylinder head. Once that's clear, you can give it a nice little ring. You don't need a lot because it does spread out. Take your sorbo pad and make sure you line up the center hole. Then apply pressure. Once that's done, you can install that, install this. Now you have corrected angle of engagement. Now it's just a matter of reassembling the gearbox.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. What? You're sad that you can't put your gun back together yet? Oh no, my friend. We have a lot more to do. We have the rest of the compression set, new gears, shimming, motor alignment. Oh, we have just scratched the surface of the hard zone. So if you want to see the next episode and get your gun up and running sooner, subscribe for more content. Help us beat the algorithm together. And you can support us directly by shopping at Airsoft GI. Get you that nice something that you've been eyeballing for a while. You deserve it. And then you get store credit, double store credit. And then you can gather up all that store credit together and buy something else nice. It's a win for you because you get something nice, and it's a win for us because you're supporting us. We love that. And we love you guys. We'll see you later. Peace. Alright guys, today's challenge video, I'm betting Kevin $5 that he can't beat me left-handed. So what we are going to do, shoot down all 6 targets, and then the first one to knock them all down shoots the top can. Whoever shoots the top can first wins. Ready to lose, sucker?
That's your $5. It's gonna be mine.
Where's your $5?
You might as well hand it over.
Where's your $5?
I already know I'm gonna win.
No, you're gonna win.
Shooters, are you ready?
Yeah.
On your marks, get set, go!
I'm out!
Ah!
That's so difficult.
That is so hard.
Both of you suck.
It's so hard.
Give me the $5. Since you guys both suck, let's say slow and steady wins the race. So if you guys run out of ammo, and the other person shoots more cans than you, then you lose, alright?
Okay.
Okay, shooters ready?
Yeah.
On your marks, get set, go!
Yes! All right, Kevin wins.
Hand it over.
It's okay. Let's stole that from your wallet.
What the hell, man?
I wasn't gonna bet my own $5.
Alright, well, I still won. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Hey, stop! Whoa! Oh, hey, what the? Stop! Give me that thing.
I'm wasting water.